We are speaking on behalf of the female survivors of domestic abuse,
whose voices need to be heard,
but whose identities need to be protected.
If I could go back to the girl I was in 2020, when she was ready to end it all,
I would have been that inner voice to say, "You are going to be fine. I promise you it will be fine. You will make it." Instead, I can sit here today and tell you myself.
Lighthouse is a Suffolk-based charity providing support to women and children affected by domestic abuse. We've always provided refuge accommodation, and that supports women and children fleeing a domestic abuse and violence relationship. At the beginning, he was the most charming man. It was like he wanted to be number one in my world, and I was number one in his. Or so it seemed.
But over time, it became more and more frightening, unpredictable, and controlling.
So, as a building society, we believe that everybody has a right to a safe home, and that includes feeling safe in your own home. What Lighthouse are able to do is they allow people to feel heard and be supportive and then feel safe. It's really easy to say, just leave, but it's not that simple.
I was made to feel like I had mental issues. I felt so weak. I felt so alone.
It was the verbal abuse that was the worst of all.
I'd rather have him punch me than say the things that he did.
I became so afraid to do anything or make any decisions because I knew they'd be wrong and I would be punished.
But even though he treated me like this, I still loved him. I was so confused.
So they will isolate you from your friends, from your family, from all your support network. Because once you haven't got anyone, who have you got? Oh, you've got them.
The point when somebody or a survivor decides to make that decision to flee or leave the situation that they're in, that's actually potentially the most dangerous point for them.
And that can be one window of opportunity for a woman to escape. So it's really important that we have a dedicated team there ready to welcome the mum and their children. Because quite often they arrive with nothing but the clothes that they have.
One evening on a night out, we had been dancing and having fun. When we'd returned to the hotel, he went mad.
Swearing and shouting, accusing me of flirting. I tried to calm him down. I was so afraid.
This was the second night he raped me.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. Abuse comes down to power and control. Over time, it erodes your confidence, it erodes your self-esteem.
As a result of the constant mind games, threats, sexual assaults, and living in fear of my ex-partner, I began to think that all of this was normal. At times, I felt like I was losing my mind.
Because for so long, they've been told, no one will believe you if you go and seek support. You're a liar, you're useless, you're a bad mum, you're a bad person.
Loneliness now had consumed me more than ever. I slept all day, emotionally drained from crying.
Your mind, when it is suffering, can be a very dangerous world to be stuck in. One afternoon in June, my depression got worse. My new medication was trying to kick in, but I couldn't fight the urge anymore. I didn't want to be here.
With most women, it's the first time where they've actually come to a professional and they've actually been able to kind of tell their story.
A lot of the women that come forward to us have always said that people haven't always believed them.
Eventually, I had to act. Serious action at that.
In the end, it was the Lighthouse that helped me to take the first steps to starting my journey to recovery.
All the work that we do with them is around increasing their confidence and enabling them to recover from the experiences that they've actually endured.
I attended the Freedom programme, and over time, I now know that this was not my fault. I was not to blame for anything. I was able to hear other women's stories. I didn't know these women, but somehow I felt that we had so much in common. I was not alone. I was not going mad and it was not my fault.
When I was walking around the facility, it's clear that there are rooms actually dedicated to support children. It's not just the tragic story of the individual, but it's actually their children too. I have children myself, and that really hits home.
Children are impacted by domestic abuse and it can be absolutely devastating for them. We have to break the cycle somehow.
I know I have a way to go, but I am happy. My home is at peace. I understand what a healthy relationship is. The children are happy and we are making happy memories together, and I have rebuilt the relationships I lost.
We have an increasing demand for the work that we do. We're now supporting over 1,000 women who access our centre every year. So it's meeting that demand with the limited resources we have to do it.
I was so happy when I was recently in touch with the advice worker who helped me that day. I was able to say thank you for being there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling me it was not my fault. I would not have been here today if it was not for her. Lighthouse changes women's lives.